I'm Catherine of GamerCast.net, and I'm doing a video which I suppose is a bit different to the kind of videos I normally do, because usually it's like, oh, here's an unboxing of a game I've spent a lot of money on, or oh, here's a bunch of things I've bought, which I haven't really done a pickups video in a while. But today I went to Crawley, which is in West Sussex, because Charlotte had told me they had this machine, and I didn't know what she was talking about. She sent me a link. And I was like, Animal Kaiser? What's Animal Kaiser? And it's an arcade machine. I believe we saw a lot of it in Japan when we were over there. And it's an arcade machine which has a kind of collectible card element to it as well. There's one in the Hollywood Bowl in Crawley. There's a few like close by to me anyway. So there's one in Crawley, there's one in Woking. I think there was one in Littlehampton as well. They're all over the place. I think if you can go on the Animal Kaiser, it was either website or their Facebook page, and there was a map showing you all the kind of places that have this arcade machine. And I was very confused at first. I'll show some pictures as well in this video. Well, a couple of pictures. Most of the pictures I took were a bit crap because the arcade was a bit dark and I wasn't sure if I was allowed to take photos. But like, Charlotte showed me what this was, and I was a bit unsure of what it was, especially because they have tournaments, and the only people that participate in the tournament seem to be young children. It's meant for kids, really, especially when, like, this is the first time I've come across an arcade machine where I have to kneel down to play it, because standing up tall, not that I'm tall, I'm only, 5'5", I think, 5'5". Standing up against it, I either had to lean down to use it or kneel down to play it, so I decided to kneel. Excuse me. I decided to kneel to give it a go. Although after 5 games, my knees were killing me because the floor wasn't very nice. Well, it wasn't that soft. But yeah, so at first I was unsure because the whole arcade machine says insert your card or put your card on the machine for it to scan it. But nowhere said where you got the cards or anything like that. I double checked with a guy and he was like, oh yeah, if you don't have a card, you press a button and you get defaulted a line who's called Leo. I think he was called Leo. And then you battle. It's like a slot based game. So like the tutorial basically said it's like a slot machine. You've got 2 buttons for when you're fighting. One selects the attack you do, and the other one selects your power, and then you're against another enemy who does exactly the same. The one who has the most power does an attack. So it looks like a kind of standard beat 'em up. Just you're doing these 2 button presses that define what it is that you're actually doing. Like, I don't know if you can actually get it based off timing, but it does feel very random based on the moment you push the button. But it was fun nonetheless. Only because, like, I always used to think of arcade machines as a... Sorry, my cough hasn't gone. I've been ill, like, the last few weeks. I always used to think of arcade machines as expensive. Mainly because a lot of the games that you play in them, you can actually play on a home console. Or you used to be able to, anyway. But something seemed a lot different for this arcade game because not only did you put money in it, but you got something back. So I played 5 games. It was £1 to play, but I came back with 5 cards. At the end of a match, so you play a match. If you win the first match, you go into the second round. If you're in the second round, you go into the third round. And I believe it can keep on going. Once you've won the second round, you get the chance to take on, I think his name was Scar. It was like an evil lion who looked and had animations very similar to Leo, but he had a big scar down his face, think like Scar from Lion King. And he was purple and dark colours, and was a bit more evil, had like question mark for his strength, and was quite tough. So you could either then, on the third round, fight him, or choose to fight another animal. I never finished a third round, so I don't know if you finish a third round, it then goes into a 4th round, or if you can win the game and you maybe get something better back. I imagine I could look on the internet and find out, but I've only just gotten home after being out and thought I'd do a video before I get on with all my boring housework and whatnot. So yeah, like, you finish the game, it says you lose. It's very Japanese, the game itself. All the attacks kind of like, they finish with the person who does the attack in the foreground and the one who's just been hurt in the background. There's like a kind of freeze frame little moment where then there's like a glint and then they fall to the floor or something like that. It's really cute. I quite enjoyed it. Although the watching your character do the animations of their moves again and again got a little bit repetitive because you couldn't skip them. But I imagine it's quite entertaining for kids. So yeah, my first game I won, well I gained, I don't know. Oh actually, sorry. So there's 3 types of cards. You get your animal cards, which you scan first. If you don't have an animal card, you press the button, you get the line. Then you can scan your I think it was your strong card next, which is basically a card that can give you stronger attacks and stronger attack powers for your certain different attacks that you have. So you have guts attacks, tech attacks, and power attacks, and the strong cards can give them a boost. Then you have miracle cards, which are like a bonus move or like a really special move that you can then do. So my first card I got was Lava Flow, which actually I think Leo was using anyway. So I think it's kind of a pretty generic card. The cards are quite nice. I don't know if, there you go, you can see it's got like a glimmer kind of shine on them. They looked a lot more fancy in the arcade because of the lighting they had, and then the moment I got outside you could hardly even see the glimmer. But they're quite nicely made cards. I mean, I think they're the kind of normal size of a trading card. Actually no, I think a trading card's usually slightly bigger. And it like tells you how much attack power this like certain thing has. I'm not sure what the match speed is about. And then there's a mystery miracle effect on this card as well, which you can see there, which has I think it's a ½ star percentage out of 3 of happening. I actually had this happen, which was quite cool. And I think it's mystery miracle it had was that I was lucky, and when I was against the evil lion, it gave me another round to try and attack. So just to explain a bit more, so I'm trying to remember everything that I've kind of learned about this game because it's for the first time that I played it. But you press the first button to choose your attack, then your second button your attack power, and it ranged from 10 to 50 and then the letter of the power that you're using or the attack that you're using. And then you need to get a higher attack power than your opponent. If you get the same attack power, it goes into like a sudden death kind of, you have to pick it again. I had it one time where I did 3 in a row, we picked the same numbers. And then this kind of lucky thing that it gave me allowed me an extra spin when I actually lost the spin. There you go. Some miracle cards have a miracle effect. Use a miracle card with a miracle effect and you can gain advantages in battle. The more star marks, the easier it is to invoke the miracle attack. But yeah, so that was my first card I got from my first fight. Then the next thing I got was, I think it was that. So like at first I was like, oh, I didn't get an animal card. Am I gonna get an animal card? And then I got, I think I got this next. So then I got him first, I think. Second even. Then I got my first character card called Saw Shark, Carpenter of the Seas. And then he's got a Latin name, and he's from Australia apparently. He eats shrimp, crabs and small fish, and he's animal number 22. This shark uses its saw-like head to dig into the sand for shellfish to eat. So one thing I thought was cute was when the arcade machine was just in its idle, it said something about asking your parents to go to the zoo, I think, to learn about animals, which I thought was quite cute. So this is my card. You've got your strength and your health there, and then the 3 different attacks he's got. So he's not great, but I was like, oh my god, I've got a character, I'm going to use this instead of the stupid lion now. Mainly because the lion's like a default one. So yeah, I got my first animal card. He wasn't great, but I won quite a few fights with him, so I got him. And then next up, I got my first strong card, which is Bountiful Harvest. attacks become stronger. And it just ups the attack of things. It's got a lion on here, a bear, a panda, and a crocodile. So that was my first strong card. If you don't have strong cards or miracle cards when you're playing, it just doesn't need them, so you just press a button to continue. And then in the next game I got a second miracle card. However, I picked to continue using Lava Flow over Super Lightning, mainly because Super Lightning did less damage, I think, based off this. Massive bolt of lightning that will shake the earth and decimate your enemies. It's got little crocodiles and some lightning on there. And every card is shiny, as you can see there, like that. Didn't get any rare cards. I can't remember what they referred to as, like bronze and ultra cards and stuff like that. And then my final match, I was like, oh, every time I was hoping I got a character card, because when you finish the match and you press the button to get your card out of the machine, it flicks through the different colours of the cards. But I swear when I pressed this button, it looked like it was green at the time, but I got a character card. So I'm not sure if that's actually relevant or if it's just that they're just streaming through it and they have cards that just randomly come out. So my final card was Andean Condor II, Protector of the Aztecs. So I never got to use this guy because I ran out of pound coins. He's from Mexico, but he's totally stronger than my saw shark from Australia. So because my saw shark was 3,000 strength, 4,000 health. However, my condor's 5,000 strength and 4,000 health. So I got him, which I was happy about. It was a shame I didn't get to use him, but it feels like I just need to somehow happen to get to places that have these machines. I know Charlotte kind of wants to go have a play on one now as well. It was kind of weird because, like, I'm not sure on their choosing of the locations of the world that they're from. One of the really rare cards was a great white shark, which said it was from the United Kingdom. I don't believe we have many great white sharks around here, but she's from the UK, so yeah. But yeah, that was really cool. Like, it was kind of fun to play, mainly because, like, if I go to an arcade, I'll play stuff like Crazy Taxi, because Crazy Taxi is awesome, or House of Dead Games. We played the creepy AKB 48, is that right? The right term? The idol group from Japan. We played a zombie game with them in it. Or you always have to play like Taiko, which is the drum game from Namco. Trying to think what else we played. Oh, table flip. Flip a table, literally. So like, well, that was in Japan, of course, though. But in the UK, it's usually like Crazy Taxi, House of the Dead Games. What I did find interesting about looking in this small like arcade in this Hollywood Bowl was, so like, this is a Namco game, Animal Kaiser, which is on version 5. These cards are, by the way. So like, they say version 5 at the bottom, just here. But as you can see, they're still actually kind of old, 2007, 2008. But yeah, like, most of the machines in this arcade were Japanese, or mainly Japanese. Like, there was some Japanese in Animal Kaiser. It wasn't fully English. And they all happened to be Namco machines. They had, like, I think, was it Lone Kingdom or Lost Kingdom? No, I can't remember. They had like 4 or 5 Namco machines, and then a couple of others that weren't Namco. So obviously, I guess Namco have a big standing in the arcade sector these days. Yeah, so that's Animal Kaiser. It was kind of fun. I think generally the kind of age range of people that play them are quite young. So luckily I didn't feel so out of place because it was really early in the morning and there weren't any kids playing on it. But no one should judge anyone based off the games they play. So yeah, that was real fun. Has anyone who watches our channel played Animal Kaiser or anything like that? It's like animals fighting to the death, basically. So it's just like, I fought against a crocodile, a manta ray, there was a bird of some sort. I think I fought an owl, what's he called, lion. There was a snake. I fought this guy, can't remember what he was. Like this guy that's on this card, on the lava flow card. It was cute. It was entertaining. You can do 2-player. I imagine it might be more fun if you do 2-player. So I'll have to catch up with Charlotte and see if we can do that a little bit. Which I guess is how the tournaments work. Search for Animal Kaiser on the internet and you'll be able to find their Facebook channel. It's spelled Kaiser. Kaiser, so Animal Kaiser. I might see how old you have to be for their tournaments. I imagine I'm too old. Yeah, I think it's an interesting game. Has anyone else played it? Should I get more cards? Or do people think I'm not cool by doing this? So yeah, that was Animal Kaiser and talking about the game and the cards and my first experience with it. And I imagine I hope to go back at some point in the future. Yeah, that was my video. Hope you enjoyed it. Catch you for my next one, whatever that is, whenever that is. Hopefully not too far in between like they have been. So my apologies for that. And I'll catch you for my next video. Bye.